Welcome, everybody. This is the next installment on the Risk Management Subcommittee video series where we try to provide some timely guidance for Realtor members on current hot button issues. One of the issues that I've seen recently on the resource line and some questions to me as well is the whole interplay between the clear cooperation policy, coming soon, office exclusives, or sometimes also called pocket listings, and how all of that works together under the current legal framework that we work under, both as licensees of the state of New Hampshire and also under as members of National Association of Realtors. So I wanted to touch on how those work together. First of all, there is still allowed, or you are still permitted to do an office exclusive or a pocket listing. You can agree with your seller as to limited marketing and that it only be marketed internally to members of your firm. That is permissible. Ultimately, the seller gets to control that. My only caveat for that is if you are going to do that, you very much need to adhere to those rules and make sure it's truly an office exclusive. And then second, make sure you have a very detailed documentation in your file to make sure the seller fully understands the risks and benefits of going with that approach and opts to go with that approach, because that is not the typical approach. Typically not the recommended approach. It doesn't mean it's impermissible or illegal, but I could see sellers challenging that later if the results were not what they hoped for. The other topic that has been around for a while now is coming soon. Again, that is allowed under our MLS rules, and there are fields to enter for that. The practice tips on the coming soon aspect is if you put on a property with a delayed showing or coming soon, and you say no showings until June, pick a date, June 15th, say, you need to adhere to that rule and stick to that. Even if your seller or some other agent approaches you and wants to see the property early, the Real Estate Commission has looked at this issue, and agents have gotten in trouble for putting one date out to the public and then changing their mind. And by the time the property is essentially live for a showing, it's already under agreement. And so you need to have a careful discussion with your seller about expectations and manage those and make sure they understand that not until that date happens will you be showing the property and entertaining offers. That's the best way to protect yourself. To add to that mix, those two topics were challenging enough, but to add to that mix, back in 2020, NHAR came up with a clear cooperation policy, which requires properties, as soon as they are within one business day of being publicly marketed, and we'll talk about that in a second, has to be put onto your MLS. And that was designed to create a very much bright line rule and to discourage some office exclusives and pocket listings, not prevent them, and also provide rules around to help in support of coming soon. So what does that mean about public marketing? That means that any public-facing marketing that you do for a property, be that on your firm website, be that in social media, yard signs, flyers, you name it, from high tech to low tech, as soon as you engage in that activity, or more precisely, as soon as someone in your brokerage firm engages in that activity, that one-day trigger starts. Now it's one business day, and so you are going to get a little more time if you're on the weekend, and also if it's a holiday weekend, any federal holiday does not count towards the calculation either. So it doesn't count Saturday or Sunday or a federally recognized or state recognized holiday. So you have that in mind, but you do need to do that, and you do need to put that on the property. So this begs the question of, well, can I talk about a listing with members of my team or other agents in my office and before putting it on MLS? And the answer is you can do that. That's not public marketing. But as soon as those agents put it on their social media feed or their website, or start calling some of their potential clients, you're starting to publicly market the property. And as soon as that happens, then the one-day clock starts where you have to post it on MLS. It does not mean that there couldn't be an immediate offer that could happen internally. But again, given the one-day timeline, it's okay to talk about it internally, but you do need to follow the clear cooperation policy. You do need to put it onto MLS, and you do need to have a discussion with your seller in advance of what the pros and cons of going with something in-house versus fully exposing it to the market, and what what the pros and cons of that to make sure that your seller client makes an informed decision and you follow your fiduciary duties to do that, which is in the best interest of your seller clients at all time. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful. If you have further comments or follow up on this topic, please feel free to send questions or comments to the resource line. And if we need to discuss this topic additionally or further, we will do so. Thanks.